Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, we have a lot of cool things to share, starting it off with this right here. The US government to address the ramifications of cryptocurrencies on January 20th. Now, this on its own is a very important announcement, and everybody who's in the US, make sure you look out for this. But then again, everybody around the world better look out. And before we move on, I'm going to talk about the US, a little bit about Bitcoin slash XRP, then about a very interesting topic, some mining power problems over in different countries around the world, Walmart getting into crypto slash metaverse, Mike Tyson wonders how high the Solana price can go, a little story about Solana, and then about Ethereum. If any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, make sure you press that like button, and of course subscribe to the channel for more. Having said that, let's get it rolling. So our first little topic, yet again, is the 20th of January. The subcommittee on oversight and investigations of the Committee on Energy and Commerce will hold a hybrid hearing that includes both in-person and remote attendance on January 20th, 2022 at 10:30 a.m. As a result, this is of the Bitcoin mining sector. It has piqued the interest of several countries over the last year, which again we're going to talk about a little bit further over in this video. And it appears that the US government is starting to become interested in this market. As a result, a hearing has been scheduled in the US to explore the ramifications of the energy consumption incurred by cryptocurrency mining operations. Indeed, the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations of the Committee on Energy and Commerce will begin a public hearing on the subject next Thursday. The investigation is titled Clearing Cryptocurrency: The Energy Implications of Blockchains. And in particular, the subcommittee is interested in learning about the energy consumption of blockchains with the premise that they may create environmental concerns in the future. On the scheduled day, the hearing can also be viewed, the live stream over on YouTube. And I think it's going to be rather interesting because we don't know the ramifications of these specific announcements nor what's going to happen in this. I know it's not the US Federal Reserve that's going to make some crazy choice or anything like that. But obviously after China's little ban incident last year, this is going to be has become an ever-increasing point of interest for the US, as there was quite a lot more Chinese that came over because they couldn't mine over there anymore. I saw a lot in Uzbekistan and I think Russia as well, and the countries just basically next to China, but a lot have also gone to Texas and a couple other places most likely. And so how they're going to react to it in kind of like a first response to the public basically is to me also very interesting. Now in that sense, there's everything in this video, it kind of coincides with that. So the first little article I guess I should show right here is of different pieces of panic everywhere, as different countries around the world have called Bitcoin or the mining of it a really big problem. And so I'm not here to actually say whether or not it is, nor whether or not this or that country has actually banned it or is planning to do so, because I think it's a really controversial topic of whether or not it's good or bad to mine Bitcoin and whatnot, and how energy works in that sense. But apparently, panic as Kosovo pulls the plug on its energy-guzzling Bitcoin miners, allegedly. Speculators rush to sell off their kit as they have announced a crypto clampdown to ease electricity crisis. Once more, allegedly. I don't know enough about these things and the news in that sense to actually verify that this is real. It's apparently so. I'm going to also take it in as the truth, but make sure you understand this is allegedly from my perspective, as I'm not too good with finding the news over in some of those areas. And so I'm going to put it again as allegedly. I know there's an issue out there. I know there's a lot of talks about it, but I'm not 100% sure they're actually banning it or there's actually a full-on statement in that sense, all right? It is allegedly. Now that comes in with the next little topic for right now. A Bitcoin ban would be disastrous for Ripple, says top executive. Now, I like to kind of title my videos in a Ripple-y way because at the end of the day, guys, the biggest holding of crypto that I have right now is XRP, and I think the majority of the people watching also like the XRP content more so than just a video about Bitcoin. And so I like to always spin my stories about how it would affect XRP slash Ripple, just because I'm most interested in that, and I think a lot of people in the comment section are as well. Then again, I do hold multiple different crypto, and I also know and acknowledge that Bitcoin has the most importance in everything. whatever happens to Bitcoin will eventually be reflected onto altcoins and whatnot. And so if we want to take a good look at what's going to happen to XRP, we need to take a step back and look at Bitcoin. And so one of the things said by Nick Carter was this. Check the little thread out, right? We're at a point where the government is teaming up with Ripple to create paid opposition research on Bitcoin mining, which is interesting. So let's take a look at this, right? So apparently, the title here of this little report, or I guess thesis or whatever you want to call this, on May 14th of last year was, when crypto mining comes to town, high electricity uses spillovers to the local economy. And it's funded partially by Ripple's blockchain initiative of universities. Oh, and there's the punchline. People are not doing so well because of power. If you're in any way affiliated with Ripple, you've ever worked with them or taken money from them, he doesn't like you anymore. It's that simple. Their entire strategy is lobbying, A, to get Bitcoin / proof of work banned, and B, to get Ethereum branded as security. Gaslight people. So when reading this, I had a little bit of a stroke because what? What does that mean? What? Cringy Ripple Army found my tweet. Amazing they still exist, and a lot of people are liking that. But Matt, rightfully so, says, I seem to think you're a little bit misinformed with your opinion, but it was worth something to start. You seem to think your misinformed opinion was worth something to start with because it's an interesting it's an interesting talk. Now, David Swartz of Ripple also said, this is comically absurd. Either of those two things would be disastrous for Ripple, and that's again what the article is spinned off of. Because think about it. Think about it really carefully for yourself. If Ethereum was branded as security, there's a very high probability that XRP is going to be branded as security too, right? We can all kind of walk on the same line there. If Bitcoin gets banned, obviously in no way, shape, or form is that good for XRP / Ripple. So I don't really know what he was thinking, nor why he would write this out on Twitter thinking it was going to help people out, because this way of thinking is going to get you in a lot of trouble if you can't really think 2 steps further into the future, which is that if Ripple were to be lobbying for this, it's like the most 500 IQ play of government agency acting as a crypto company to kind of insider themselves, to mess themselves up, to get the whole industry banned. I mean, I would give them some props, and I would actually go out of my way and applaud them for then destroying crypto through faking the whole journey. It's and becoming billionaires along the way just to destroy your wealth again. I'm going to say, yeah, if any government employee is that dedicated to the craft, to make themselves a deca-billionaire, to take it all away again, to become a employee for $5,000 a month, okay, cool. I'm not exactly sure why, how, or what. Yeah, no, it doesn't sound that logical to me, specifically because Brad has been working for Yahoo and whatnot before. I don't think he all of a sudden took a job at the government. But that's just my thoughts, though. It's not a logical way of thinking, if you ask me, and so I'm not exactly sure why he went on this path. Now, one thing that is apparent is Ripple's research into energy efficiency, and from a certain perspective also to either lobby against proof of work, could be, but mostly to go for a more energy efficient realm. And one of the things which they stated is that they want to go to a net carbon zero ecosystem by 2030, and that XRP is a lot more energy efficient than Bitcoin, which are just truths. And it's also something which has to be said and has to be put into paper or writing. That there are just crypto right there that, first of all, can have a little bit of a problem happening. We can see it in the first 2 articles, but also it's just not, I don't want to quote some of the things which I've read in here, nor that I want to have read in here. But they're putting quite a lot of emphasis on how bad electricity consumption is or can get, specifically due to Bitcoin. And so of Ripple saying, we don't think that's a really good idea. It's kind of useless as well. I'm not really judging them too much for that. That's just me once more. It's a fun little story, though, the Nick Carter and what he writes down. It's a little fun thing to think about. One thing he sometimes seems to forget is that there's a whole deeper rabbit hole that we can go into if we're going to actually talk about Bitcoin in that sense as well. We don't officially know who founded Bitcoin, and the moment that one single dollar is moved of that 1 million Bitcoin, the whole ecosystem could collapse. So from that perspective, you can also say that some guys were building the Bitcoin ecosystem up to take from the poor and people who want to invest and go to actually just numb it all down eventually. But he's not kind of talking about how that potentially might be happening in the background. There's a lot of different things which you can speculate on, but there's nothing really to back it up. Specifically, his 2 arguments, What is the use? All right, Walmart is quietly preparing to enter the metaverse. We've actually talked about Walmart in the crypto space a multitude of times because they're also partnered with VeChain, and I often brag about the Walmart-China partnership with VeChain. Walmart appears to be venturing into the metaverse with plans to create its own crypto and collection of NFTs. The big box retailer filed several new trademarks late last month that indicate its intent to make and sell virtual goods. In a separate filing, the company said it would offer users a virtual currency as well as non-fungible tokens, aka NFTs. Now, it's going to be really interesting. I have no idea what they're going to do with that. It was filed a couple of weeks ago. We're going to see. All right, we're going to see. Will this be big? Who gives a crap? We'll see what they're going to do. They could also just put those things in place and start doing it in 10 years from now. But the fact that some of these other companies that are relatively big have also done it before, and Selfridges, I think in the UK, is going to do it now. Louis Vuitton has been working with it. Nike has been working with it. All these guys have been working with it. Adidas, yeah, there's a good chance they're looking into it because it's a money-making machine. You got to stay up to the game, otherwise you're going to be left behind. So they know they have to. They have no other choice. Then Mike Tyson. And by the way, last thing I should say about it is any loyalty points and whatnot, it can definitely be done through an NFT realm. If you, for example, go to a grocery store right now in the Netherlands or a couple of countries I've been to, actually have that loyalty systems or restaurants as well. You can sometimes, for example, after spending 10 euros or $10, whatever, you get a little token, right? Or your little sticker in real life. If they tokenize that, where with your bonus card, for all my Dutchies out there, if you go to the Albert Heijn, they always tell you to get a bonus card, so you can scan that every single time you want to pay for your groceries. You get some little bonuses, which you don't have to put your name on, by the way, only if you want to. You can actually also get some stamps, sort of, or stickers, and you can sometimes work those two out a little bit together. Point being, eventually I think that bonus card will turn into your Web3 sort of device in some weird shape or form, where you scan each other and it will just automatically be connected to your wallet in that sense. And it will also store your tokens on that specific wallet, which is already happening to a certain degree, right? Because a lot of bonuses are already tracked on your bonus card. But in that sense, that it will be fully kryptonized, and it will actually be, I guess, sort of tangible, not literally, but sort of tangible NFTs. It's kind of funny, even though there's a non-fungible token. Mike Tyson wonders how high the Solana price can go. Funny little question. How high can Solana go, you might ask me? Well, there's not really a max, nor should we question it. We can talk for a very long time about all the issues that Solana has, but Solana does, and we can all agree on that, things a lot better than other cryptocurrencies out there. They just do. There's a couple of negative sides. These are, for example, centrality, or the fact that it's down multiple times. But of course, there's also the speed that it has with it, and you can always do that little way off of why one crypto would be better over the other. It's just priorities, right? It's just whatever you would like to see. But then questioning what is the price pressure for that? Well, as crypto keeps growing, Solana will keep growing. It's so hard to put a number on where it can go towards. It's already done really amazing in 2021. There's a very high probability that 2022 is going to go yet again amazing, as long as crypto keeps growing. And it will most likely stay at the top because of how useful it already is. That's just me, though. My thoughts. Not financial advice. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure you press that like button. Ethereum sets a new record with almost $400 million worth of coins burned in 1 week. Number of burned Ethereum coins looks promising for deflation supporters. You can all understand what's going on here, right? Apparently, a huge amount of Ethereum is being burned every single day, and this number is ramping up. The most important part of the fee burning mechanism presented by the EIP 1559 update back in the summer was to make Ethereum deflationary. And apparently they've burned now more than 110,000 ETH in 1 week of functioning as an NFT industry, and it's continually growing. So it's going to make Ethereum more and more deflationary. If you don't have any Ethereum yet, I'm not saying you should get some, but I am saying you should get some. It's just for the sake of, it's right now the most popular DeFi type of crypto. It's the center of the entire ecosystem. I think it's a very smart idea to at least buy into it. All right? And read into it, sorry. And then potentially buy into some and then see what happens. Do I think it's going to make the most amount of gains? No. Do I think it has the highest certainty of staying at least at the top of the game for a long time? I think so. My thoughts, though, not financial advice. Do with it as you please, but understand that it's just my own opinion. You should always do your own due diligence before making a financial choice, because one wrong choice can mess your whole life up, you know? Let's be honest here. If you invest into a poopy skins coin, 124, yeah, might not be the best decision of your life. So, yeah, that being said, good luck on your journey, man. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. See you guys again today. Another video on a lot of cool stuff. I have Cardano coming. I have XRP coming. I have Algorand coming. Cool stuff coming up today.